Where does yesterday's future, which is already here, meet today's future, which is about to happen, and tomorrow's future, which could be just minutes away? Welcome to Technology Revolution, the future of now, where host Bonnie D. Graham asks savvy futurists for their predictions about the tech-driven trends that are shaping our future right now. Here's your host, who will take us into the future of now, Bonnie D. Graham.
Thank you to the voice of Ryan Treasure, Bonnie D. in the house. Happy to be here. This is part 3 or part 9 or part 100. I don't know. We just love this topic. People teach, people learn. Who is teaching whom? How are they doing it? Do we want to be taught in person? What generation are we? Do we like gamification? Do we like videos? Do we want textbooks? What, Bonnie D? You said a textbook? Are people still using those? I don't know. We're talking again about intergenerational education, learning and teaching. And I have a wonderful panel. We are welcoming back Dr. Bob Ficken and Maas Savanghan. And we're welcoming Mary Nunaley, who has been a guest on many of my shows, and a collaborator of hers, a colleague named Amadeus Nunaley. Happens to share the same last name with Mary, and we'll find out what that's all about. So let me do my opening here, and I hope you all love this. There's some new, fresh opening here for Mary and Bob and Maas, and Amadeus is new, so his is new anyway. So here we go. Today on Technology Revolution, the future of now, the future of learning and AI for each generation. But how? With Bonnie D on her Scarlett mic in command, we'll explore bold predictions and apps for learning in AI's land. From boomers to Gen Z, our futurists share their view. Dr. Bob Ficken, Mary Nunaley, Maas Savanghan, Amadeus Nunaley too. Will AI redefine how smart minds prevail? Join us to discover this groundbreaking tale. I didn't say heartbreaking, I said groundbreaking. Okay, here this part is new. From boomers who built with chalk and board to Zoom-savvy Zs who've never been bored. Each gen learns differently. Each brings a spark, a torch passed forward to light up the dark. Sylvie didn't do too great on the rhymes here, Mary. We'll have to talk to her later. Jen Jones asks why with a grounded tone, seeking truth and insight they claim as their own. Gen X plays it cool, self-taught and sly, balancing grit with a watchful eye. Millennials, Gen Y, crave feedback, fast and fair, collaboration's crown they proudly wear. While Gen Z swipes, scrolls, and learns on the go, they teach us speed and creative flow. And now I'm going to introduce each of you with your own. And Bob, this is fresh, so here we go. Dr. Bob Ficken once walked the lawman's beat. Now he sparks minds where classrooms meet. From deputy sheriff's badge to PhD acclaim, Bob blends ethics and learning in AI's name. He's flipped companies' AI bans to greenlit code, guiding change directly down innovation's road. With his justice roots and tech-savvy might, Professor Ficken helps the future learn right. Bob, what'd you think?
Well done, Bonnie. Well done.
Okay, I'll share that with Sylvie. She helped me with that. Mary is here. Okay, Mary, this is fresh for you too, and I hope you like it because we got some personal stuff in here, but you sent it to me. From Chicago's alleys where mud earned her name, Mary chased dreams through sports and flame. She rose through the ranks in food service flair. From fries to fine dining, Mary managed with care. A lavender dragon with passion and spark, she now crafts learning magic that makes its mark. From sailing Lake Michigan to F&B floors, she's led teams, she's built courses, she's opened new doors. With heart, with humor, and with wisdom hard won, Mary now builds bold futures alongside her son. What do you think?
I like it. I like it.
I'm glad. I told Sylvie the secret. Okay, Maas is next. From Gulf Coast roots to Sri Lanka's shore, Maas mapped how people and systems soar. In L&D, he found his spark, upskilling talent to make its mark. In Bangladesh code-charged AI-rich scene, Maas learned how tech keeps learning lean. Now Maas leads ERP teams across the map, driving future-ready minds to bridge the gap. Maas?
I love it, Bonnie. I love it.
I'm glad. I'll take
It's a
two
little different
lemons.
from last time. It's brilliant.
I
Wow.
always freshen them up for my returning guests, and now we have our newcomer, Amadeus. From college burnout to creative spark, Amadeus found his learning arc. With gaming roots and D&D flair, he builds bold journeys with strategic care. An ATD pro with a playful mind, he crafts what schools forgot to find. Now his clients level up thanks to his quest, where fun meets function and learning's at its best. Amadeus?
Well, that's fantastic.
I'll take a fantastic and a couple of loves. So, with Bonnie D and her panelists, the future is shining bright as AI transforms learning with speed and solid insight. From classrooms to careers, AI's reach will expand as our learning futurists share predictions and apps to help us understand. So, I'd like to give all of you a round of applause here if I can find because I want to thank you for giving me all the wonderful information. Here we go. That's for all of you. Oh, what a crap. Mary, I can't believe we have that many people watching. Yeah, there's nobody on LinkedIn right now, but that's okay. LinkedIn's having a problem today, but we'll take care of that. So let's quickly go around the table and see if I left anything out. I know 8 to 10 lines is not enough to summarize a whole lifetime of achievements. Bob, would you please tell us, is there anything else you'd like us to know about you before we go into the apps and the predictions? Go, Bob.
If you see a guy that kind of looks like me on a bright blue motorcycle running across the country, please don't tailgate me and leave me alone.
When are you going? When are you going?
I'm riding from the West Coast to the East Coast to go to a Daytona Bike Week.
Wow.
Wow. What kind of a bike?
A Harley Davidson Road Glide Limited.
Bob Ficken, this is a new site. We're going to have to redo your bio next time you come on. Wow. You want to stop in Tennessee? You can see Mary and Amadeus and me. Okay? See, Mary, I just invited them, and you and Ken and Amadeus will come and visit me. Thank you, Bob. That was an interesting update. Mary, anything update for you? Anything you'd like to tell us?
I guess the biggest thing is that I am a new grandmama and Amadeus is an uncle.
Congratulations. And how is baby Eli doing?
The baby is doing quite well. He's grown like a weed. He no
Wonderful.
longer looks like a potato.
I'll never tell him that you said that on live radio, TV, whatever we're doing here. Thank you very much. Okay. Now let's go to Maas. Anything new with you?
Nothing new, Bonnie, but just wanted to reiterate. So I'm speaking from the sunny island of Sri Lanka, which is in South Asia. Very happy to be here and very happy to contribute as well and provide a different perspective, maybe.
Yes.
So it's looking forward to the session today.
Thank you. Thank you. And you came to us through my good friend Sherry Ann Meyer, correct? She referred you to me a couple months ago. So happy to have you back. Amadeus, our newcomer, you want to do a little more of an introduction than what I said? It's up to you.
Sure. I mean, I guess it's not really an introduction, but I am working with one of my trainers. We're having a book chapter out soon. So that is going to be on AI, and not necessarily just AI, but learning and gamification in regards to learning. So I'm very excited about that coming out. Should be out by the end of the year.
Wonderful. Do we have a name for the book or for your chapter, or where can people, will people be able to find it?
So it is with Sententia, which is one of our certifying boards, and they focus on gamification, and it is called the Anthology. So there will be versions with basically other people also have their own chapter, but we will have our own version of the book with our chapter front and center. And very excited to have that come out in a few months. That is very exciting. Well, congratulations in advance, and we'll look forward to maybe a little peek at the chapter when it comes out. We would love that. You and I'll have to talk about some other shows. Okay, don't tell your mom. I'm gonna get some more time from you. Okay, Mary, I was telling them before you joined that Eric and Melanie were the mother and son. The first time I've had a mother and son on the show, and they were unable to join us. And I asked you, because you're so good at doing this with me. You've done it so many times on my shows, and you volunteered Amadeus. I said, another mother and son. How lucky can I be? Couldn't have planned this. So there you go. Amadeus, we have no fun on my shows. They're really, really boring and dry. Just wanted you to know. Let's go into before we do predictions and apps, I want to spend most of the time on the app, but let's just quickly do the quotes, because you each sent me a quote. So let's go through this about 2 minutes apiece, and let's see what we're doing. Bob, you sent a very weird, it's not the weird quote, it's the character. The character is Gigolo Joe, played by the wonderful Jude Law. The movie is AI.
2001 sci-fi drama film directed by Steven Spielberg. I won't even tell everybody what Gigolo Joe is, but you can all figure out for the first part of his name. Here's the quote Bob has selected. We are the guiltless pleasures of the lonely human being. You're not going to get us pregnant or have us to dinner with mom and dad. We work under you. We work for you. Man made us better at what we do than was ever humanly possible. Okay, Bob, didn't expect this, but now that you're going to ride a motorcycle cross country, I guess I'm not surprised. Go ahead.
I'm still trying to break down barriers, Bonnie. As you and I both know, there are still so many people that either don't understand AI or are afraid of it. And the reality is we're getting ever closer to having AI in our homes, running our homes, driving our taxi, flying our plane. I mean, we're going to head over heels, in pursuit of all these things. And you got to get on board, start as slow as you like, start where you like, but start embracing AI because it's going to be involved in almost every part of your life.
There we go. And interestingly enough, next week, Bob, my show has a group of people who all work for the same company, but it's not about them. And it's about the future of AI in everything, in our homes, in our cars, in our jobs, everything. AI in fill in the blank. And we're going
We're
to
gonna
talk
we're gonna
about
make the Jetsons look like yesterday.
Yes, yes. And Moss, do you even know what the Jetsons are? Do you know who they are?
For sure. I mean, for when I was growing up, my favorite episode was when the Jetsons met the Flintstones. I think it was yeah, so it was, I think, a Christmas special, I believe. And
I don't have the sound
favorite
effects
episode.
on right now. Amadeus, do you know what the Jetsons were? You
Oh,
don't
oh,
remember them?
oh yeah.
Really?
Hey, he
Mary,
couldn't be my son if he wasn't well educated.
and they probably all have heard of the Beatles too, and maybe even Johnny Mathis and Bobby Darin and Count
I,
Basie. I'm
I,
not
I
sure about that.
I
I'm not
have the
sure.
entire discography of the Beatles on vinyl behind me right now. So
Oh my goodness gracious. Well, we're doing intergenerational here, so glad to know you're all on board. This is good news. Mary, I'm coming to your quote. Thank you, Bob. Mary's quote is from Dean Winchester, played by Jensen Ackles. The
Ackles.
Ackles. She always has to correct because I don't know these people. This was from Supernatural, season 4, episode 5, called The End. It aired on October 1st, 2009. Supernatural television series. What else would Mary bring? Premiered on the WB on September 13th. It became part of the successor network, which was the CW, created by Eric Kripke. It follows brothers Dean and Sam Winchester as they travel throughout the country. This could be Bob. Hunting down demons, ghosts, monsters, and other supernatural beings. Bob, you have your route plan for you. The pilot was viewed 5.69 million viewers saw the pilot. The ratings of the first 4 episodes prompted them to pick up the series for a whole season, and they went from 3 to 5. And just quickly, Mary, when it came time to name the 2 lead characters, Kripke decided on Sal and Dean as an homage to Jack Kerouac's road trip novel On the Road. But he said Sal was not appropriate for a main character, so he changed it to Sam.
Yes.
And the
Life would
brother,
not be the same without Sam and Dean.
there you go. And the brother's last name was intended to be a nod to Harrison Ford. They wanted Dean to have the devil may care swagger of Han Solo. However, there was somebody real named Sam Harrison living in Kansas, so they changed it for legal reasons. I thought that was pretty funny. Here's the quote Mary has picked. 5 words, packing a punch here. We make our own future. Okay, Mary, you got 2 minutes. What's that got to do with what we're doing? Go ahead.
Well, first of all, for those of you who are not familiar with Supernatural, it's celebrating its 20th anniversary this year. So, and it is on Netflix if you want to watch all, I don't know, however many seasons there are with 22 to 30 episodes a season. So start watching now. If you do 3 a day between now and the end of the year, you might get it all in. Anyhow, so Sam, despite the fact that the show talks about hunting demons and ghosts and such, it's really about family and making our future and making our path. And so I picked that quote because, much like Bob was saying, AI is here whether we want it to be here or not. Much like the calculator, much like computers, much like anything, we can fight it all we want, but it's still here. And so what we need to figure out is what's the best way to adapt and make it work for us, not only individually, but as humanity.
I like the fact you put humanity in there. Yes, we're still trying to be, aren't we? Yes, let's keep that there. Thank you, Mary. Let's go to Maas's quote. Maas picked a quote from 1994 American comedy drama directed by Robert Zemeckis or Zemeckis, however you want it, written by Eric Roth. It's from Forrest Gump, played by Tom Hanks, still a wonderful actor. Film is based on a 1986 novel by Winston Groom and a stellar cast. The story depicts several decades in the life of Forrest Gump, played by Hanks, a slow-witted, kind-hearted man from Alabama who witnesses and unwittingly influences several defining historical moments in the 20th century U.S. The film differs substantially from the novel, and here's the famous quote Maas has picked. My mama always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Okay, I did my best, Tom Hanks there. Sorry, I didn't have a lower register. Oh, they're all laughing. I hope with me. Oh, Bob liked it. Oh, Matt, it was Matt. Okay. Maas, what does this mean for our topic? Go ahead.
Yeah, so I think life is a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Talks about the uncertainty of disruption as well, because when every generation sort of gets comfortable with technology and everything as it's supposed to be, and then something comes and disrupts it. I remember back in the day when we used to take Kodak pictures and memories and things like for memories, and then Facebook and MySpace came in and things changed. And today we're in a world where AI, out of the blue comes, disrupts everything. And now we're adapting to something that's very different, but very helpful as well. So life is a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. What is the next disruption? We're yet to see. But I think that sort of sums up the only two certainties in life, which is death and change. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Yes, very, very appropriate. It's always fun bringing back quotes from movies that are 20, 30 years old and finding that the lines still work. The lines that were famous back then still have meaning today.
Yeah.
Yes, timeless,
And
absolutely.
taxes, Moss, and taxes.
And taxes. There we go.
And taxes.
And some
Yes.
other things we won't talk about. Amadeus, our newcomer, has picked a quote from Science Officer Mr. Spock, played by the lovely Leonard Nimoy, no longer with us. Sci-fi TV series, of course, Star Trek. This was from season 2, episode 24. It aired on March 8th, 1968. Amadeus, that is 53 years ago, something like that. Yeah. No, more than that, 60. No, 50, 53 years. Yeah, I'm doing math in my head here. Okay. And the episode is called The Ultimate Computer. And here's the quote you picked. Computers make excellent and efficient servants, but I have no wish to serve under them. I don't do a good Nimoy. Okay, Amadeus, how does this apply to our learning topic today?
So to me, it applies a lot because AI, as a lot of people see it, is this kind of almost like magical catch-all that can do everything. But it still is the human component that drives it forward and makes it learn. It learns from humans. So what to me is really important is that utilizing and efficiently integrating AI to things will make life a lot easier. But that doesn't mean that you need to then give up everything and go, okay, AI is going to take care of everything for me, because that's not how it works. The human core element of that is still what's there. And that's the part that always needs to be used.
I like that. The human core, the humanity. We're still getting to the people part there. Thank you. I think this is where the fear and the facts come together, or they bump heads a little bit, because people think, OMG, I'm gone. There'll be no emotion. There'll be no empathy. And yet we're still here talking about it. We still are being humans. And I have to tell everybody that Amadeus is going to demo an app that changed my life, because in 12 seconds with 2 prompts from me, it wrote an incredible story that was just, I could have read it in a novel at any time in history. It was so good, and it was so well written and so tight and so fast, and the characters were so well drawn, and it just kept me going. It was a one-page scene out of what could have been Amadeus, a movie, a TV show. It was gripping, and it was less than 20 seconds. I'm estimating 12, and it wrote it that fast with almost no input from me, but just enough. And I was intrigued. I'm a writer, but I do my own writing, but we'll talk about that later. So thank you all for the quotes. Let's go to demo some apps. What do you know about that? Bob, sharing is open. If you'd like to share, go ahead. You're first. We got plenty of time. So Bob's first, then we'll go to Mary, then we'll go and announce your generation when you start to speak, please, because I didn't do enough of that in the opening. So Bob, I'm putting you on speaker view. Take it away.
Okie doke. If I can get out of here. Okay, so the first one is GimKit. You see that I built a topic called ethics in here, which is one of the classes I teach. And we've got quite a few options. If I can show them to you, for example, I can assign homework using one of these. I can gamify it if I wish to do so.
Can you show us some of the gamification?
Well, let me show you everything first.
Please.
So I'll open it up and here's a question that I would want to ask everybody. I can show you answers and what the students can answer.
Wow.
Would you report a fellow student for cheating on an assignment? No, it depends, not sure. So I can do that.
Please take nothing but pictures, leave nothing but footprints. Interesting. What else can it do?
Well, let's see here. I'm having the toolbars covering up here. Got to move this somehow. There we go.
There you go. What are we looking for?
So I could add another question if I want to.
Okay.
I can play audio if I attach any audio to it. So there's quite a bit that I can do with this. I can create assignments. I can gamify them. I can do all that. It would take too long to do it on the show, but we all know, and I think everyone would agree that gamification is a great way to get training done.
Absolutely. Because it's engaging. It engages you and makes you be part of it, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So this one is a quick look at Padlet. How does the evolution of technology challenge traditional legal ethics frameworks?
Ooh.
And, I can add questions. I can change the title. I can change the wallpaper, format, appearance, layout, engagement, posts, content. So pretty good stuff.
Okay. And you got another one for us?
And then Mentimeter, this one, I can create polls, for example. Like if I'm teaching a class and I want to do a poll, I can open it up and create a poll blank or use one of the templates they have. I can create a open-ended conversation if I want to have a lecture with question and answers.
Okay.
I can set up scales to show the responses and draw conclusions, perhaps. Can also do ranking, force, or otherwise.
And Bob, this would all be on in a virtual classroom setting where people were dialing in from somewhere, or could you put this up on a screen from a laptop or a desktop computer in a brick and mortar classroom? Forgive the phrase there.
You could do both.
Okay. Interesting. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Okay. And let's go to Mary. You're up next when Bob is done sharing.
Yep.
I'm going to stop you sharing, but okay, there we go. Okay, Mary, you're up.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about two things, and then if the internet behaves, I'm going to share two things. So
Okay.
the first thing I wanted to talk about is Comet. Are any of you familiar with Comet?
Not me, not
Okay.
I.
And this is not the astronomical kind of thing. But Perplexity, who you may be familiar with, is one of the LLMs that are out there. In July, they introduced their own web browser called Comet. And so I am currently on the wait list because I'm not on the pay $200 a month plan. Well, because again, they have different tiers. AI costs money. It costs money to run the data centers. It costs. So I am on the wait list. I signed up for the wait list when I agreed to be on the show. I was hoping I would be on it by now, but soon. But anyway, it's an AI powered web browser. And so it is integrated with an AI assistant. So think about how, in Google, the AI assistant is integrated. It also has Agenetic, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's an assistant that helps perform actions for you, like setting appointments and that sort of thing. You can also automate your workflow with some of the built-in tools. It's got a native ad blocker built into it.
Ooh.
Local data storage. It's compatible with most Chromium-based platforms, so it supports Chrome extensions. And it also has an incognito mode. It is cross-platform, which means Mac, PC, and down the road Linux. And you can create your own custom shortcuts. So currently, again, as I mentioned, it's for people that are on the $200 per month plan, but you can sign up for the waiting list, and they're rolling that out very slowly because there's a lot of testing that has to happen. But I am just fascinated by the prospect of an AI-based web browser. So it's going to be interesting. So next two is it's going to be some screen share. So give me just one moment to make sure that I can do my sounds. So much like Bob was showing some of the things that he can do to make things interesting. As you mentioned, Amadeus and I are both into the world of game-based learning, gamification, making learning fun. And so GameLearn.com is a tool that I've been using for a while. Rather than showcasing something that is, client-facing that I can't share in public, I'm just going to use their tutorial. And it allows you, again, to build your own interactive games using learning objectives and storytelling. And if you remember the early computer-based games, or some of them even now, we have to point on something and then you get a little prompt that comes up. That's what this tool allows you to do. And so it takes your content, you can pick and choose your backgrounds. It's going to take it a minute to load. I'm going to just preface this by saying 9 times out of 10, when I screen share on Zoom, I get kicked out. So anyway, you can pick and choose your
Hi,
background.
my name's Serena, and today I'm going to show you the building blocks in the editor that are designed to show your training and story-based content.
And so you have the
Are you ready to get started?
text-based bubbles. So for people that don't want to listen or are hearing impaired, but you also have the ability to put an AI generated voice. So I'm going to say, yes, I'm ready to get started.
These building blocks will allow you to add content and storytelling to your game in a variety of formats.
So you can use this for training. And hang on, I need to move us so I can get to my navigation.
Let's see how some of them are created and look in-game. Let's start with a video. It can be an animation, an animated presentation, or any other type of recording. Use videos to teach your course material or advance the story. You can make the players watch the video or let them skip it. Shall we watch a video? Click on the TV to watch it.
So then notice here, I've got a new learning objective, which is click on the TV. My pointer turns to a hand. I click on it, and now I've got a full screen video. So you can add your own assets, but you can also use the tool to help you create additional assets, and you can even put little quizzes afterwards. So in this case, I'm going to say, of course, I like the video.
As you saw, when you clicked on the TV, a video was launched. Then you had to make a decision to keep playing.
So I'm not going to make you watch the whole activity, but again, this is just another way to quickly build learning games and put those learning objectives there and customize it to your needs. So I'm going to stop sharing for just a second, get rid of that one, and then I'm going to screen share the next one. Go away, little girl. And that was Game Learn. And then this one is one of my favorites. You may be familiar with names like Gordon Ramsay or Mark Cuban. So here, this is Masterclass, and it is a chatbot that allows you for a monthly subscription fee to interact with all of these business people. And you can have a voice call or you can have a text-based chat. So let's just say we want to ask Chris Voss about communication. So I'm going to have a text-based chat. Hey there, this is the AI of Chris Voss. How you doing? I'm fantastic, or I'm great. And so that's good to hear. How can we make today even better? Help me talk to a teammate who is missing deadlines. Since this is a communication one. And so he's like, missing deadlines? That sounds fascinating. What's going on there? They are regularly 2 to 3 weeks late with work product. How do I help them? So anyway, you're familiar with the chatbots, but it's kind of cool that Masterclass was able to clone these big names that people are aware of. And so here we've got, a series of questions to help us think it through. The one that's really cool to me, though, of course, is Chef Ramsay, because we're a bunch of foodies. We're going to allow microphone access. You hear the phone ringing. Hey, Chef, I need to know how to make your famous beef Wellington.
Hey there, this is the AI of Gordon Ramsay. How are you doing today?
I am doing fantastic. What about you?
That's brilliant to hear. I'm doing well, thanks. How can I help you today?
Yes, I want to learn how to make your famous beef Wellington.
Right, this is the real deal. My signature beef Wellington. It's a showstopper, but you got to stay sharp and focused every step of the way. The mushroom duxelles needs to be cooked until it's bone dry. No shortcuts there. And when it comes to wrapping the beef, precision is key. You want that pastry tight and even, no saggy bits or air pockets. Now tell me, what part of the process is making you sweat the most?
The puff pastry.
Ah, the pastry. That's where the magic happens. You've got to roll it out evenly. No thick spots, all right? And when you're wrapping the beef, go slowly, keep it tight, and seal it properly. Don't rush it. Have you worked with puff pastry before?
I have.
Or is this?
So anyway, that is one of my new favorites to play with because you get cooking advice in the moment, complete with recipes. You also get business advice. I used the Mark Cuban one a while back when I'd just come out of a real estate workshop that I didn't realize was going to be a real estate workshop. And I started asking questions and I was so proud of myself because I knew what he was talking about. Bonnie, you're on mute.
There we go. That was a riot, Mary. I was commenting to you. I didn't realize I was coughing and I put myself on mute. That was a riot, hearing Gordon Ramsay's voice and the prompts, and it was fairly well able to understand your questions and to come up. And I love this is the real deal. I thought that was really, really fun. Okay. Do you have any more for us?
Those are the two I wanted to showcase
Thank
today. And then
you.
just if anyone's interested, again, I'm not an affiliate. I don't promote this, but it's like a $10 a month subscription and they are adding additional business people. But just to get that level of cooking advice to me is worth the subscription.
That was interesting. I was telling somebody on one of my other shows the other day that my mom wanted to learn to make special desserts, and there was a woman named Mrs. Murphy who I think was teaching at the local Y, and she signed up and paid Mrs. Murphy to come to the house and give her cooking lessons in special desserts, and there might have been a couple of main courses in there too, and it was fascinating. We have I think I still have a couple of recipe cards that says from Mrs. Murphy. So
Fun.
back in the day, that's what you did, right?
Exactly.
There you go. Okay, we're up to Maas. And what generation are you representing today, sir?
So Gen Y, so 1980s to about 1994, 95.
Okay, let's see your
So what I'm
apps.
going to show, I'm not going to really showcase a demo per se, but I'm going to showcase a couple of slides with a couple of tools we use as well for corporate training.
Please.
You can see my screen, right? Yes.
Yes.
Is it? Yeah. Right. So let's just, I think everyone's probably familiar with the tool in the middle, which is ChatGPT.
Mhm.
So looking at the evolution of training back in the day, and especially when it came to corporate training, it took us weeks and weeks and weeks to come up with scenarios related to a specific work problem. So if you were developing case studies, it used to take a very long time, developing the scenario, the characters, and coming up with a case study which could be used in a L&D setting or a workshop where we would have people actually dissect and understand a scenario through a case study. But with ChatGPT, and obviously if you get the prompt right, you can generate the scenarios that you need for workshops and case studies very quickly. I mean, if you get the prompt right in a couple of seconds, you get a case. You can tweak it, you can fine tune it, and you can come up with something really special, right? So that's the first one. I mean, ChatGPT is out there; everyone's using it. From the perspective of learning and development, this is how we've sort of make it very useful to us, because especially when it comes to workshops, when it takes a very long time to come up with these cases, this really helps us cut the time and come up with some really good cases as well, right? So that's the first one. The second and third apps that we have one is Easy Generator, which is a product of Skillsoft. And the next one is, Percipio, which is a product of Skillsoft. And the other one is Easy Generator. Both of those have made enormous strides in terms of AI and in terms of learning as well. So I'm just going to showcase a couple of areas that are very interesting in terms of developing curriculum. Right. So what this particular tool does is it enables us to create situations and simulations based on different experiences or scenarios that we have at the organization. So, for example, if your organization is working with customers, we can curate and develop our own scenarios based on different prompts. And for this particular scenario, we have an irate customer, right? So we develop the scenario of an irate customer, and we decide exactly how long this conversation will go on for. This is voice enabled as well. So either you are typing in on a text box, or you are actually speaking to an AI simulated bot, and you will have a conversation, right? And you have different other things you could take into account, like, does the conversation have to be harsh? Does it have to be defensive? And there are different measures to that as well. So a number of different options that you can select. So in this particular scenario, we are dealing with an irate customer, which we create from scratch, depending on something that's relevant to our organization. And then, you have the AI coach who's playing the role of the irate customer. So this is how it looks like. Of course, if you're using the audio settings, it'll be speaking to you. But if not, you get it all in text. And like I mentioned, you can set the scenarios. Do you want it to be practice, role-based? Do you want to be guided? What is the behavior of the AI participant as well? Is the behavior defined as defensive? Is it dismissive, accepting, or is it just random, right? Just to make it more realistic, right? So once you select the scenario mode, the behavior of the AI tool, then you can have a conversation. So in this particular case, I just did one response where the customer said hi, and I responded saying, "What's the issue, bro?" And then it responds saying, "First of all, don't bro me. I've been trying to get this fixed for weeks and nobody seems to care. My account's messed up and I've been charged for something I didn't even sign up for," right? And this can go on for, as long as you want, a couple of minutes, 20 minutes. And at the end, once you are done with the simulation, it provides you with feedback to tell you exactly how you did in that conversation and how you could improve as well. So I thought that was really fascinating.
Mhm.
So one of the tools which is related to Skillsoft, the Percipio tool, so it's an e-learning system as well, with tons and tons of different training programs and training collateral. So what it does is, at the end of the debrief, it'll suggest certain programs or courses or workshops or videos you need to watch in order to improve your negotiation skills for this particular scenario. So that goes the extra length as well. So this is a tool that we've been using and testing over the last couple of months. We now use it. So a couple of weeks ago, we ran a workshop for about 20 or 30 participants where we did not get involved. Our only involvement was from a technical perspective, but the entire workshop was conducted by the AI bot. In this case, the name of the AI bot was called Casey, and it was completely administered and run by this AI tool that we have coming out of this platform. So yeah, that's my app that I wanted to share with you. It's currently being used in the L&D space, especially in corporate training. So yeah, that's my 2 cents, Bonnie. Hope that made sense.
Thank you very much. I'm going to stop you sharing. Thank you very much, Maas. That was very, very interesting. My takeaway was don't call me, don't do the bro thing, whatever he said. It was just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
stop the bro thing. Yeah, that's you could see that being translated if somebody called a woman, I don't know, girlfriend or honey, or saying something
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
hey, don't go there. That's not going to get us anywhere. Very interesting. Thank you, Amadeus.
We've
You are
come a
next.
long way from Pong.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Amadeus, you're up. We got plenty of time. Go ahead.
All right. So what I'm sharing today is a fun little application called AI Dungeon. And honestly, part of what I really love about this, and you mentioned that you liked how it wrote the story, it kind of goes back to the really old adventure games back when Zork and stuff came out, of just text entry letting you know what you're going to do and basing a story. But instead of a pre-written book or a game, this is a bunch of AIs stapled together making the story for you. So when you get into it, you have some options of, you can find a story that's already been made by someone, or you can choose the genre and put in however you want to put your parameters in. So for this example, let's go ahead and go science fiction. And so then it gives us the kind of basis of what's the type of story that we're using. So space bonds I'd used before. This one is about a family of bounty hunters. And so this will go with, I'll be the main character here.
Mhm.
So now it's going to give up in a couple of seconds a plot that we can interact with, whether that's what action we're going to take, what we're going to see, what we're going to do. And so now it becomes less of just a story, and now it's an interactive feature. And it also expands to multiple people. You could, if you wanted to, share this with a few friends and take turns or collaboratively write or kind of put things together. And while this part is mostly just for fun, yeah, okay, we're having a story about that, you could set this up to be a more learning example because you have full control over everything. Instead of maybe a, spaceship of bounty hunters, maybe we're in a corporate office, and similar to what Maas showed, this is now similar to more of a training where you go, okay, how do you handle this from this position? Or if you're in this hypothetical, where does that go? And you could actually then see and play out some of what's going to happen. So here, in this very last bit, we have a couple options. We can do something, we can say something, we can look at the story, or if we use C, this is actually using some credits to make the AI give you a picture of whatever it is that it just described. So it doesn't just have to be text detail, it can really go further. I've had a lot of fun playing around with this, and there's a lot of possibilities for what you want to do, depending on if you're building scenarios, if you're sharing them, if you're just finding them. But I think it's a really cool tool, not just for fun and as a way to kind of get those creative juices flowing, but it's a really great way that you can set up learning in a really fun way where it's interactive and still helpful. So that's my fun little tool to share.
Amadeus, I want to ask you, what generation do you think would really
Oh.
appreciate this?
I forgot to include my generation as well. I am
Yes.
a millennial
Yes.
on the cusp of Gen X. Thanks 94 birthday. And I had an
Okay.
older sister. She is 8 years older. So I like to feel I was raised by the slightly, my generation before me.
Okay.
I think you would probably see a lot of use in this in that Gen Z and millennial ideas. Not that the older generations couldn't see it, because this is definitely right up the alley of the start of computer games. But I think in terms of familiarity and where they would be immediately taken to, the generations that are pretty used to that sort of text interaction will be very at home with this.
Hey, is there a way to show one of the ones that are done that maybe has some pictures in it?
Yeah.
Sure. So I mean, here we can do too. I can say C. C.
Ooh.
And you can specify then what text styles. So this one in 4K.
Bob, could you use this in your teaching?
Absolutely.
So and then you can take turns. So if you had a class or a group, you could go around of, okay, now our position is, maybe we're the position of a board, a board members. Now we're all members of the board, and we have to go around discussing something. So here, let me, if I can, do this game. You can see there are a couple other these are all ones that people have made and already have done.
Oh, let's become a babysitter.
Mary.
Well, he's a new uncle.
There you go. You want to read a little bit of this, Amadeus, for us?
Sure. So
Go
with
ahead.
this one that someone's already done, you're just a college student trying to make a few bucks babysitting until you're hired by the richest couple in town. One mansion, one unpredictable kid, one day that could either make you a legend or leave you emotionally scarred for life. Welcome to the ultimate babysitting challenge. Choose your kid, survive the chaos, try not to cry. And then they have a list of, we have a bunch of different children that you could use as your one that you're babysitting. And then you'll be able to go into that. So let's see what happens if we play this.
Bob, I'm thinking you could pick a classroom scenario with difficult students, and you could name all your difficult students as that.
Let's be the tiny tyrant.
The tiny tyrant. Okay.
We've got a cheerleader here. Go, Mary.
Okay, well, since you chose it, Mom, you get to be
You started it. Okay. What's her personality?
What's your personality? Feisty.
Bossy. Spicy. Yeah, feisty, bossy.
Bossy and feisty.
Feisty. That's it. Redhead.
Red hair.
Short and round.
Mary. Loading.
And so now we have a start of the chapter. You are Mary, a regular college student juggling lectures, late night assignments, and a part-time babysitting job to make ends meet. And and I believe this part of the text where it's highlighted is what gets saved between. How this works is it'll save snippets of what you've done, so that way it can reference it further down the line. So it's not just a one and done situation. It actually remembers what you're doing. And I believe when you have the higher tiers of payment, it remembers more things. But for free, it remembers plenty to have a lot of fun.
I want to ask Mary for 1 second, down toward the bottom of the page. Mary, why don't you just read from You Clear Your Throat? Hi, Naya, I'm Mary. Could you read that for us?
Wait, where are we?
Go down toward the bottom there. Amadeus.
Hi, Naya. I'm Mary. Your parents asked me to watch you today. There's a smile. Instead, she exhales dramatically and snaps her fingers at you.
Whoa. Whoa. I thought we'd get a good punchline in there. Interesting.
And then so we can continue this to just see what the AI thinks we're going to do. Or we could have specifically chosen, okay, well, here's our response. So here I just hit continue. And now it continues on. Without looking away from the TV, Naya snaps her fingers at you, as if you were a servant rather than her babysitter. The gesture is both commanding and dismissive, her little hand cutting through the air with practiced precision.
Did you bring my snacks? I'm famished.
You glance at the sleek folder Mr. and Mrs. Thompson gave you, where a detailed list of approved snacks is written in elegant calligraphy. So but you can tailor this. You could, this can be as funny and fun as this is. This is something you could easily tailor to be great for learning or testing out scenarios or just team building. So I think it's a great little application.
Thank you, Amadeus. Did you have anything else? We got about 6 minutes left. Anything else you want to show? Or are you good?
I'm good. I think that covered enough to get people whet their appetite.
I want to read, since Amadeus is the newcomer, I want to read a couple of his predictions because we didn't get these from everybody for this part 3. Amadeus says, and we'll just quickly go around the table, micro-learning will dominate learning. Millennials increasingly prefer short, focused learning bursts. AI-powered platforms will adapt in real time to offer personalized micro-learning paths that suit just-in-time needs. Can you just give us a couple of sentences, Amadeus, on what this means? Maas is nodding, and you can go next and comment on it, and then Bob and Mary. Amadeus, go.
So micro-learning is kind of the idea that instead of sitting down and going on take an hour-long class, however frequently that is, you're really putting it into bite-sized 5, 10, 15 minutes of content that they're, reading, watching, interacting with. But that's it. It's these quick, almost, YouTube video or TikTok like, where it is a quick, here's the information, interact. But then you have time to come back instead of just sitting down. Here is a full hour. And with most people nowadays, it's hard to get them to sit down and pay attention for an hour. But 5, 10, 15 minutes of learning here and there, I think that is where learning is going to go for a generation it doesn't enjoy just sitting down and going, okay, let's go 3 hours of reading now.
I don't know if anybody does in any generation anymore want to sit that long. Maas, you want to make a comment, and then Bob, go ahead.
Yeah,
Maas.
I just wanted to echo the sentiment as well. So something really funny happened the other day. I was talking to a couple of our young executives who had just joined the organization, and some of them mentioned that they found it very difficult to watch an entire movie. And I asked them why, and the response was, no, because right now, before you go to bed or whenever you're on your phone, you're scrolling 30-second clips on either your TikToks or your Instagram reels. And that sort of triggered us to also invest in a lot of micro learning. So even when it comes to learning and development in a corporate setting, we're looking at TikTok as one of the avenues to share knowledge, maybe one new concept a day, a couple of seconds. And then, on the next day, you have something else. So I totally see that this is the need of the hour, especially, if it's difficult to stay in a room for a workshop for very long. So that's something that we've also started using, not for everyone. Everyone has different ways of learning, but there is an audience for this as well. So
thank you. Mary raised her hand. Go ahead, Mary.
Yeah, I was going to say, and another cool thing along those lines is that this microlearning can be pushed out via text message. So in industries where people are not by computer, for example, in the hospitality field, and the employees don't have, you don't have restaurant servers with computers in their workstations, but you can push this training out via text message, and it's short and it's bite sized and you can go back to it. So I think that also helps.
Thank you. Bob, thoughts?
Yeah, I think that micro learning makes a lot of sense. I mean, the old adage used to be that adults could concentrate for about 40 to 45 minutes, but I think if we were to research that today and come up with a hypothesis and try to prove it, it's probably more like 15 or 20 minutes anyway. It's a much faster world these days. So I think micro learning is perfect. Even if it were a complex subject, you could do multiple 10 to 15 minute micro learnings to cover it all. So I'm all for it.
Thank you. And I'm going to give you all a little insight here. If you're looking for a good comedy show, Leanne Morgan just launched her Leanne, Leanne. I think it's on Netflix, but it's 15 episodes, season 1. But the reason I'm telling you this is not to promote her. The episodes are 19 minutes long. When have you ever seen a sitcom, Mary, that's 19 minutes long? Exactly. That means you could watch 3 episodes in an hour and say, wow, I really know her and the family. It's very well written, by the way. Ryan Stiles is miscast because he's just great and they don't give him enough comedy lines, but it is so well done. And the characters are beautifully delved into. I shouldn't end with a preposition there, but it's just very well done. But 19 minutes caught my, so talk about micro watching. Bob, talk, go. We got 1 minute, go.
Isn't that most 30-minute shows where you have 11 minutes
say,
commercials and 19 minutes of
Yeah, once it gets on to Netflix and stuff, they come out to about 15 to 19 minutes because there's no commercials.
Well, that might be it, but it's you're not having to watch the commercials. You're seeing the tight writing from scene to scene to scene to scene to scene without being interrupted, without having to say, I want to pay more for the commercial-free version. Good point, everybody. I don't know if they come down to 19 from 30. I think they come down to 20 something or other. But anyway, I was just intrigued. 19 minutes. Of course, I binged the whole 15 episodes last weekend, but we won't talk about that. Okay. I want to thank all of you very, very much. Let me put on some appreciation here. Let me see if we can get this up here, and we're going to go in just a minute here. Here we go. Appreciation to all of you. Wait a minute. Come on. There you go. Okay. And it's not coming up. Why? Oh, that's... I have to remember all these buttons to push, everybody. Unbelievable. Okay, we don't want it to go into anywhere else. I'm going to close, and let me see now. We want to make sure we get this is for... We're pulling into the home port here. We're ready to go. Okay. All right.
Are you tired of
So
hearing the
much fun with my
future is
set
already
everything.
here? We are too. That may have been yesterday's future, but today's future hasn't happened yet. Take a deep breath, tune out the hype, the noise, and turn up the volume. Savvy, Art of the Possible technology visionaries talking about how today's innovations right now are shaping every aspect of our real future. We'll laser focus our spotlight on buzzworthy tech like artificial intelligence, machine learning, Internet of Things, augmented reality, and lots more. Clear your calendar and open your mind for Technology Revolution, the future of now, with the most upbeat host on global radio, Bonnie D. Graham. Listen anywhere, anytime, on any device.
There we go. I want to thank all of you for being here. Amadeus, Nunaley, such a pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much for letting somebody talk you into this. Bob has just walked away, but we think he's still here. Bob Ficken, always nice to see you. And Bob, you coming back? We want to wish you well on your bike trip. And please send postcards from Not From the Edge, okay? That was a play on Carrie Fisher's book. I think we all have the cultural reference for that one. Mary, your background, your purples are just absolutely luminescent, just beautiful.
I'm a jellyfish.
Really, really nice. Maas, love the background and so glad to have you here. And I'm just going to say,